Now, and President Ramaphosa is promising that government will work harder to fight gender-based violence. This morning he visited the family of Uyinene Mrwetyana, and of course she was raped and murdered allegedly by a post office employee in Cape Town. He's said to have a criminal record. Last night our president also promised to approach Parliament to make a register of sexual offenders public. Our reporter Uyinene Mrwetyana is in East London and she joins me now. Good afternoon to you, Uyinene. The President, a very moving moment. He went to meet with the family of Uyinene Mrwetyana. Tell us a little bit more about the mood there and what he had to say.
So the President arrived at the home just before 10 o'clock, Sally, and he first met with the family, the parents in particular, and close family members of Uyinene, before holding a prayer with neighbors from this area. A lot of people showing up there. That's when he spoke up. He wasn't initially intending to speak, but he said something with the meeting that he had with Uyinene's parents moved him. He was saying that for far too long, the scourge of gender-based violence has been at the back and has not been a priority in this country, and it's time that it moved to the front and becomes something that is addressed with urgency. Also thanking the family for allowing the country to use Uyinene's image as a symbol of what should never happen again to the women of this country, saying that we need to stand together as South Africans to fight gender-based violence. Let's take a listen to a clip of what the President had to say at the prayer that he held with the Mrwetyana family earlier.
This must be seen as a moment when South Africa as a whole reaches a moment where we say, yes, enough is enough. We've reached a turning point, and we are now going to turn a new leaf and deal with gender-based violence in a much more focused manner. This must be taken as a national project where all of us get involved, where government plays its role, where society broadly plays its role, where families also play their role, where the men of our country stop this scourge, because the moral fiber of our nation is now at a point where men must take responsibility for the manner in which we treat the women of our country. Women should no longer be treated as toys. Women should no longer be treated as objects that men want to kick around, want to rape, and also want to kill. This must now be stopped.
Strong message there from our president, and really that Uyinene has become a symbol of all that is wrong around the violence that is perpetrated against women. But of course for the family themselves, this weekend they're going to be burying a loved one, and it is a very deep and cutting and personal loss, and you've had a chance to speak to them as well.
Certainly, Sally, throughout their prayer, her mother and father were sitting next to the President looking down. The mother seemed very saddened. I just saw the pain in her eyes as she was trying to participate in the prayer that the President had come to officiate here. And they are not speaking to the media as yet, but we did manage to speak to Uyinene's uncle, who said that at this moment they are angry, but they are comforted by a prayer, saying that the family has a strong religious, in terms of Christianity, they believe in Christianity, and they're saying that at this time they're really relying on the word of God to keep them strong. They're also saying that they really appreciate the fact that the President took time out of his busy day to come out here and personally pay condolences to the family. The uncle also saying that Uyinene was the apple of her father's eye, saying that wherever she was, whenever she was home, there'd be laughter. So wherever she was, her presence would be felt. So they're really at this moment very saddened by what has happened. Let's take a listen to what the uncle had to say.
Words that come to mind is words like devastation. We felt highly devastated, and we just could not contain our emotions. But We are great Christians. We believe in the presence of God. But we believe that our child has been made a sacrificial lamb. And as a result, the outpouring of grief is a clear indicator that this indeed is a national tragedy.
The uncle there of Uyinene Mrwetyana in East London. Zikhona Jona, thank you so much for bringing that story to us.